Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Nightly Muse podcast, where a bunch of geeks get together at the late hours of night and talk about whatever we please, within reason, of course. I'm your host, Barry Pizza, aka Kyle, and today I'm going to be joined by three others. My fiance, Insomnia Spectre, Malachi.
Hi, everybody.
My good friend, Songbird Angel. Angel. Angel? Angel!
Well, hi. Yeah, I'm here too.
Podcast time.
Oh, hi everyone. I'm Angel. I make music.
And finally, my friend, Bumblebee Blitz, Milo.
Hello, everyone. It's very nice to be here tonight. Thank you.
Excellent. All right. So, since we're here, why not we take this opportunity and tell the people out there a little bit about ourselves. Who wants to go first?
I suppose
I can. Go
first. You go first, Angel. My bad.
No worries. Let's see. I am a member of the LGBTQ community and a content creator. I have recently started producing my own music through whatever means I have available to me, and I am currently uploading it under the guise of Songbird Angel. I will be opening my SoundCloud account soon. There's a little plug in there. Shameless, I know. And I very much enjoy long walks on the beach and talking about myself.
And talking about a certain someone else.
Listen, we don't bring that up.
Well, I mean, it's hard not to when you've told us that you only recently just became promised to her.
Well, I mean, that's a good point, but also, screw you.
Okay, who wants to go next?
I can go.
Alright, go ahead.
Hello, everybody. My name is Milo. I am a very good friend of all these three. I am also a part of the LGBTQ. I am very fond of bees and clowns and all sorts of fun junk like that. And I'm very happy to be here.
And undead.
Yes, and undead people, but it's fine. I also am a content creator. I make art, and hopefully one day I'm going to have my own cartoon series. So yes, that's it for me for now. 3 years in the making.
Malachi, do you want to go next? Or
Alright,
should
I guess it's my turn, huh?
Only if you want to, baby.
Well, I am Malachi. I am training to become an animator, so look out for animations of this very podcast.
Ooh, excitement.
Oh.
Can't wait to see them.
I am also the the host's fiance. Oh boy! Wow, I am.
You're doing great.
You're doing good. Alright, well, I guess it's my turn.
As soon as I said that, I got flustered. Yay!
Well, I mean, you were literally the one who came to me and was like, you know what, I'm gonna say it now. Kyle, will you marry me? And I'm like, oh, okay, oh, sure.
When Mama sees what she wants, you can't take that
sort
away.
of in some.
She pinned me up against the wall and everything. It was
But then, like, you turn around, and it's just like, oh, hi. Yeah, me and my short self, and you taller than me. I had to look up into your eyes.
Oh, short stack.
Ow!
I'm playing. Alright, I guess it's my turn. I am Kyle, of course, as you know. I am a artist studying to be an animator. I'm very big into video games. I have a lot of different interests in all sorts of different things. I love Nintendo. Anything Nintendo is, like, my thing. I'm sure you can tell by the copious amounts of shit that's within the view of the picture. I kind of let that one slip. Oops. I have to be a little bit more careful about that. And yeah, we're all just kind of geeky people who love watching movies, playing games, talking about all sorts of different things, talking about art, and really honestly, we don't really have much of a topic on this for this particular episode other than just introductions, and we're just kind of gonna go from here. But we definitely want to lay out some ground rules. We are all LGBT plus friendly, so any folks who have any sort of thing going on, whether it be trans, non-binary, etc., you are welcome within this house.
You are safe here.
Yes. We are very open to a lot of different things and a lot of different people, so, like, people of color, you're welcome. Artists, you're welcome, etc. We do not accept the bad things, though. This includes the nasty stuff. We are going to try and keep this as PG as possible. I'm sure probably because of the fact that I let myself slip, that wasn't exactly the most PG thing that there is. But I'm gonna try to keep it toned down for the most part. There will be no F words, there will be no, like, crazy amount of bad words. The most you might hear is crap and damn. Might slip in a few higher ones, but other than that, we're gonna try and keep it as clean from potty mouth as possible.
I have created a list of not curse words and what they are supposed to replace, so you will hear a lot of me yelling out baking goods randomly.
Casually looks away.
I'm pretty sure a lot of us are going to be picking up on that pretty soon. Not only that, we're also...
It'll be a little bit before I can curb my tongue, but...
You're fine, doll. Another rule we're gonna put out is we're not gonna talk about anything sexual. Innuendos maybe at most, but other than that, anything sexual, we aren't going to be talking about that. No. None of that.
No, sir.
So my lovely...
Not a politics podcast.
Oh yes, no, controversial topics. We are not going to be talking about these. So this includes politics and anything of the like. So do not expect us to be talking about anything along the lines of Holocaust, Trump, or anything like that. If you do, and request it anywhere,
pretty much religion's gonna be a no-go.
Oh yeah, no. If it is a controversial topic and all sorts of things like that, we respect it, but not gonna be talking about it here. Other than that, I think that covers the rules for the most part. This is, and now I'm gonna speak from host to co-host here. let's also try and see, like, and be careful when it comes to talking to each other, because I know there are some folks here who have a little bit of issues of certain things being said, and certain things being done, so let's keep an eye on that and make sure that we all keep it comfortable and keep it a safe environment, because we want everybody here and everybody watching to be in a safe spot. But yeah, alright, so let's see. What are we thinking about tonight, folks? Thinking about games, art, what we cooking up in those brains?
It's the holiday season, so we might as well talk a little bit about that.
Oh yeah? Okay, yeah, that works. Alright.
I have a question for everybody, if I may.
Yeah, go ahead.
Since the holiday season is around, there is a lot of mint things. There's a lot of gingerbread, shortbread, anything bread. I have to ask, what is everybody's favorite Christmassy flavor that comes around only at this certain time of year? Because as we are recording this, it is December 4th.
It is the birth of this lovely little podcast. So we will definitely have to keep this in mind in case this podcast keeps going and going. Welcome, Nightly Muse. It is your birthday, the day you were born. Woo! Me personally, I've never really been one for holidays and stuff, because holidays have never really been given to me in my life. But when it comes to holiday flavors, I wouldn't say it counts necessarily, but I've always been one specifically for hot chocolate.
Ooh.
I've always had a soft spot for hot chocolate, and I'm not talking about like the Swiss Miss, like take the packets, put it in the water, and no, I'm talking specifically homemade chocolate, like hot chocolate, like made from scratch, warmed to a point where it's like, and then like, I don't know if you guys have been like have ever had this happen before, but I actually had like a Christmas party at one point. It was one of those like crazy weird school Christmas parties that you would have like in elementary school and stuff, where they'd have all the cookies and things. One of my teachers there, I can't remember her name for the life of me, but one of my teachers actually had this like really cute little tray where she had the hot chocolate and stuff, but she had like just this entire tray filled with nothing but stuff that you could literally decorate your hot chocolate with. So it had like whipped cream, it had marshmallows, it had like cinnamon and all sorts of things like that. Like you could literally make your hot chocolate how you wanted. And it was so cool.
I remember for 1 year of Christmas, one Christmas year, I got a little gift basket of different flavored hot chocolates. There was one with mint, there was one with gingerbread, and I think there was one with cinnamon. The one that I liked the most was gingerbread. My personal favorite flavor around Christmas time has to be gingerbread.
Yeah, a lot of people do like gingerbread. It's gingerbread and like a lot of different other spices and stuff are typically seen around Christmas time. What about you two, Angel and Malachi? What about you? Christmas stuff?
Well, for the longest time, I have always been very interested in tiramisu, which is actually Italian, even though I just pronounced it like it wasn't. Tiramisu is an Italian dessert made of ladyfingers, or how I like to call them sponge fingers, dipped in coffee, layered with egg, sugar, mascarpone cheese, and cocoa. And it's really nice.
Good. Oh my gosh.
Oh, that sounds delicious.
You're making me hungry. Oh my goodness.
My grandmother used to make it all the time around the holiday season, and it used to be really, really good.
You have Italian heritage?
No.
she's not to be racist, but she's the potato
Simple.
people.
Do you have Italian heritage? No.
She's the potato people.
She's Irish.
She's
A little bit of a leprechaun.
little bit of leprechauns. You got a little bit of those Lucky Charm blood in you.
Sorry to disappoint, but I
Nightly
don't
Muse
actually have a pot of
podcast.
gold.
Nightly Muse podcast does not condone racism.
No, we don't. It's all entirely a joke. I promise you. Angel is like totally cool with us, doing all this.
Anyways.
They already pick on me about my relationship. I'll let them pick on me about everything else.
We love you, Angel.
Malachi, you never got to say anything about like Christmas stuff. Do you have anything that you like in particular about Christmas?
Well, call me basic and simple, but I'm all for the candy canes.
Ooh.
As for hot chocolate, though, I never use packages. As you know, I like to make my own things and cook my own things.
Oh yeah,
so
for sure. We've seen you make all
I'm
sorts of different
my own little
things.
experimental chef.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't often use hot cocoa packets. I take a saucer of milk, heat it up, and put semi-sweet hot chocolate chips in it until,
Ooh, cooking
you know.
time with Malachi.
Swiss Miss Instant Pea.
Swiss Miss Instant Pet. No.
You can't say the actual thing, unfortunately, but
You know what?
you can't say the actual thing, but
No. You know what would be a cool addition to the podcast? And hopefully we can get some response from the lovely
I
listeners.
swear if you're
Perhaps.
gonna say cooking time with Malachi.
Yes.
Hey, I mean,
Oh,
it never
Lord.
hurts. Hey, like, I know Malachi and Angel, both of you are like, both of you really like to cook every now and then. So, like, why not, like, at some point, maybe later down the line, you could possibly share some recipes that you've, like, put together and, like, share it with some of the folks. And I'm sure they'll like, love it.
I cooked for 7 hours in Breath of the Wild one night, and then I woke up in front of my oven.
I wouldn't mind. Oh yeah, the fried egg and rice, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Which you seem to love.
The thing that actually made me proud.
Oh, yeah?
No
Yeah, I
comment.
took one look at it and I was like, actually, that looks really good. And Angel here's like, oh, shut up. I'm like, and then I hear in the background, their mom. It tasted really good with the baby spinach. And this one here did not put themselves on mute. I heard everything. So, she is a chef.
No comment.
If I may, on the topic of cooking, there is a memory I cherish very fondly. My dad taught me how to make my late grandmother's egg salad recipe.
Ooh.
And I remember I made it all by myself for the first time. And I made it for my dad because at the time he was having a really rough, time. I will never, ever forget when he comes into my room and says, "That is exactly like how my mom used to make it." I felt so proud of myself. And I want to do more cooking, but I've just never really had the motivation to do it. And I'm hoping I can get that motivation to do it.
Yeah.
The holidays are a time of remembrance. Remembering things that made us happy back in our lives. And hopefully being able to recreate those later on.
Oh yeah, no, for sure. And like it's the same way with, and I've told Malachi.
Milo, you just gave me a memory of my own.
You want to share it with us?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Oh.
And she's the reason I got so into cooking. She wouldn't even look at recipes. She would throw what she thought tasted good together and have me try it.
And this is
It was
who
almost
again?
always at the oven with my mom.
Your mom. Okay,
My
all
late
right.
mom.
Yeah, your audio decided to, like, the connection decided to be all funky and be all like, haha, you're not gonna be able to talk.
Robot.
Yeah, no, my mom is the reason why I started to cook. You would always find her at the oven just throwing stuff together, not really looking at ingredients. Just throwing what she thought would taste good. And most of the time, it tasted really good. Once she threw together wild rice, not summer sausage, that, I don't remember, it literally comes in the shape of a horseshoe, and I can't remember the name of it.
Kielbasa?
But she would take that, yeah, and she would take that, and she would slice it up, put it in the, wild rice with, I can't remember the vegetables, but I do remember it always turned out really good.
That's really sweet, Malachi. Thanks for sharing that with us.
She made a lot of things.
Yeah.
But the one thing that I remember the most is her banana pudding pie. The crust was made from smashed up Nilla wafers.
Ooh.
Oh my gosh, that sounds so good. I'd love to make that with you one day.
Yeah.
And I'd love to eat it.
Oh man, I would love to.
Sounds like
Oh.
that sounds like something I'd fall asleep face first in.
I mean, given how
Nice
tired you
pillow.
I'm not gonna lie to you, there are some recipes my mom used with honey.
Ooh.
Ooh.
You know,
I got my bee senses tingling.
on the topic of baking and stuff, I actually, since we're on the topic of, like, memories being held onto certain things, when my Gigi was still alive, we actually, for Thanksgiving and Christmas, we would actually get together, me, my mom, and my Gigi, and we would always make this chocolate meringue pie. And I was always the one who would
Oh, you
actually
told me
make
about this.
I was always the one who actually made the chocolate itself. My mom and my Gigi were the ones who actually did the like making of the pie crust and the meringue, but I was the one who actually made the chocolate. And apparently, like, when it came to them versus me, I was the best. Like, I somehow managed to make the chocolate actually taste really good. And like, we every year for Thanksgiving and Christmas, we would always make this chocolate meringue pie. But like, as we went on later down the line, when Gigi started getting a little bit more ill, like a little more ill and stuff, she kind of just couldn't keep up, so her memory just kind of started lagging a little bit. But as sad as that was, this story I'm about to tell you is actually pretty funny, because we actually use we were actually trying to find flour for the chocolate. But the thing is, she ended up accidentally grabbing baking soda instead.
Oh no.
So as we're sitting there mixing the chocolate, letting
Oh,
it boil,
no.
it just starts like growing and growing and bubbling and
Oh,
bubbling, and we
no.
don't know. We're sitting there just like, what is happening? Why is it bubbling? She picks up the container that she thought was flour, looks at it, and she goes, oh, well, I'm darned. I'm like, what? She shows the box to me, and she's like, this ain't flour. I look at it, it says baking soda. I'm like, you're right. And to this day, I still cherish
You think?
I still cherish this memory because of the fact that the one time that that it was just me and Gigi. she ended up using baking soda instead of flour, and we had to redo the entire pot, but it was so funny.
Aw, that's really sweet.
Yeah.
That reminds me of back when I used to go to middle school. So
Floor is yours.
back when I lived with my birth parents, because I do not anymore, I went to a pretty standard middle school at a very small town in Minnesota. And that was the first and only time I ever had a home ec class. We were all sitting at the table, and our final was announced as we all had to bake a very specific thing that she would decide for us. And me and my team got coffee cake, but another one's team got banana bread.
Ooh.
So the way it was graded was that everybody around the class, because it was about 12 or so people, because it was a small town, we all got to have a slice of everyone's cooking. However, one of the students making the banana bread, and I hope they don't end up watching this because I don't want them to recognize me,
I doubt it, but we'll see.
they accidentally took the cup of sugar
Oh no.
Oh no, was it salt?
and mixed it up with a cup of salt.
Oh.
Oh no. Oh
can't-
no.
Now, I can't eat sodium that well, so as
Oh,
soon as
no.
I ate it, I was damn near hospitalized.
Oh no!
Angel.
Oh, Angel, I'm
Our
so
teacher-
sorry.
Our teacher ended up calling the class short because she was vomiting.
Oh no!
Horrible.
Oh my
Oh, it was
God.
hilarious.
You know,
Recalling. Oh, you go first. Lovely.
It's a dumb memory, but when I was younger, oh god, I think I was about 7. Since we're on the topic of mixing up sugar with salt, I still hold my father to this day, and like I've like as a joke, like but I mean it's the same thing with him and his cheese goatee, which I will get onto later.
Oh god, you just reminded me of something, but go on.
But basically, my mom was actually, like, she was working for, like, this exercise company that was actually shutting down for a little bit, and her boss basically was like, go to Switzerland, like, there's this position open here in Switzerland, and we want you to go over there, because you're basically the one who's doing all the stuff with all these people over in Europe. And she applies for it, she goes there, she's there for about 5 or 6 months, and me, my dad, my sister, and my Gigi, we all go up for about 1 or 2 weeks to go visit her, just to basically look around Switzerland and see, like, what it's like. One morning I wake up and Dad has made me a bowl of cereal.
Oh no.
But the thing is, the person who we were renting the home, like my mama who was renting the home in, doesn't label their spice stuff. So you've got a packet of sugar and a packet of salt, but we don't know which one is which because they didn't label it.
Oh no.
So my dad grabs what he thinks is sugar.
Oh no.
And it's salt. Pours it in my cereal. And I take a taste, and I'm immediately sitting there like, I don't like this. And he's like, I put sugar in it. No, I don't like this. And like I'm sitting there whining, complaining, and I'm refusing to eat this. He's sitting there saying, just eat it, just eat it. I put sugar in, just eat it. And I eventually start throwing a fit. Like I'm like in full tears. I'm like, no!
Start screaming.
I don't want it. You can't make me.
And he picks up the bowl and he like takes it like a bite. Stops dead where he's standing. And he goes, I'm sorry, baby, I didn't mean to. So he sends me to go take a shower while he fixes me
Father,
a
this
new...
tastes like cheeks. I don't want it.
He sends me, like, he goes...
Dad, don't make me eat it, please.
He makes me go take a shower, and
Oh my god.
and then makes me a new bowl of cereal, and then afterwards, I was a happy boy. I was happy.
Oh, that is so funny.
Oh yeah. No, I have
Babe,
plenty...
I'm so sorry.
No, I have plenty of weird and wild stories with my dad, and if y'all wanted me to, I could literally sit down and talk about all of them.
Perhaps for another episode, but yes.
Fair enough.
That very
Yeah.
same episode, I can talk about why I decided that fishing discarded school box lunches out of the trash was better than eating at home.
Oh. Oh no.
Oh my goodness.
On.
To summarize for this later date, my parents did not know how to cook. And also were very much fans of trying to invent their own types of diets.
Oh, no.
Oh, that sounds bad. It's bad enough that my own family's on keto, but bleh. Making your own diet? No, that don't work.
When you said cheese goatee, it reminded me of my own story and of me and my dad.
Well, if you
And
want,
Mom.
I can give you the context of that one.
It could be after mine.
Yeah,
That's
go.
cool.
Yeah, you got the floor.
I
Go
don't
ahead.
want to forget. So I'll just say 2 words. Butt ranch.
Alright, I think I already know how this is going.
No.
It's not as bad as you think. So, my dad, he's a chef. And usually he'd buy like a bunch of nice salads. And as we were having lovely spaghetti and meatballs with garlic bread and some salad, he noticed that we were out of ranch. He's like, where's all the ranch? I come out of my room, I don't know. Mom's sitting in the living room like, I don't know. So my dad scurries around the kitchen for a little bit. He's like, well, if we don't have any ranch, I'll just pull some out of my butt. And then immediately, as if God himself was smiling down upon me, the brilliance comes to my mind, and I yell, oh my god, Dad's making butt ranch! Me and my dad both lose it. My mom's like, God, these idiots. It was amazing.
The Lord smiled it out upon me, and my 2 brain cells finally rubbed together and created one coherent thought.
Butt ranch.
You know what that
And-
reminds me of?
What?
Boo ranch.
No, that reminds me of the video of the guy going up to his mom and going, hey mom, what's the difference between a pregnant woman and a light bulb? You can unscrew a light bulb, and then his dad just howls and the video abruptly ends.
I remember that! I love that, man.
Oh god. Oh man. Alright, while we're on the topic.
One more story.
Yeah, alright, while we're on the topic.
Man.
This specifically, this is for context about the cheese goatees. It's where it's like I promised I was gonna talk about it. I don't remember when this was. All I know is that I was young. And it was during Thanksgiving week. And my mom and my Gigi had already pretty much made a lot of like food for eating, and like pretty much all of us have already eaten, but Dad was the only one who hadn't eaten anything. So again, like he was off at work, and he comes home and like grabs kind of the cold leftovers that there is, and it's basically literally just a couple of things of turkey and just copious amounts of cheese. Sticks it in the microwave. Sticks it in the microwave for a couple of seconds, and then lets it warm up. and the cheese is melted. It's all that. Sits down on the couch, tray in front of him, and he's eating it. And he's not even using a fork or anything. He's like eating it with his fingers. He was that hungry. He wasn't really thinking about it. And he's just like eating it like he just hasn't eaten in days. My mom happened to look over at him because like we have a TV, like we got a couch directly across it is like a little
Hey, Barry.
ottoman. Yep.
One moment, friend. Your dearest fiance got kicked.
Oh no!
She'll be back. There she is.
Alrighty, I'm back. It's my Wi-Fi took one look at me and was like, yeah, no, I know what you're thinking about. Get out of here.
Oh no!
I know you're thinking about doing podcasts, your first episode podcast, but no.
Okay.
Welcome back.
No, I was thinking about a stupid Thanksgiving story that my mom told me at one point.
Oh my gosh.
But you keep going.
I don't know how much you've missed. But I don't know.
All I got was to the part somebody was eating something, and then I was like, oh no, I missed a lot of context.
Basically, just my dad. He came home. I just like he was really hungry, so he just kind of put something together that was just a mass of disgustingness. I was just like eating it with his hands. Like he had to eat in his days. And like if you were like looking at the layout of the room, you got the kitchen, like you got the living room, the dining room, like the kitchen. You walk out of the kitchen, that's the dining room. You like come like from the dining room into just like a wide little space of like the living room. And you got the Gigi's ottoman, you got the guest ottoman, you got the couch, and like a TV. My dad sat down on the couch, sitting there eating this. My mom's sitting in the ottoman, just like directly just adjacent from him. Happens to look from the TV down over to Dad, and the both of them just kind of like he catches her staring, and like he stares back. Hanging from his chin is just globs of cheese. It looks so much like a beard.
Ew.
And to this day, my mom will
Discount
not let him.
Gandalf.
My mom will not let him lift down his cheese goatee.
Oh my god, that is beautiful.
Gross.
Oh yeah, it was disgusting, and oh my god, he's a mess. Oh man. Yeah.
I have a stupid Thanksgiving story.
Go ahead,
I
share it.
think after this one story, we should probably move on from stories until the next story-centered episode.
Yeah,
Yeah. That's
man, this thing has gone from. Well, we talk about things from RPGs to bumblebees, so like.
Ooh, don't tempt me.
No, we're not gonna be talking about Bumblebee.
Anyway. We're not talking now. Anyway. My mom told me this story, and it was when my mother and my dad were still together. One Thanksgiving, my mom used to make these hors d'oeuvres, which was basically those little sausages wrapped up in bacon. Well, she was in charge of greeting the guests because they decided to hold Thanksgiving at their house. I believe this is while my mom was pregnant with me. So, she, of course, couldn't be on her feet for very long. So she left my dad in charge of the hors d'oeuvres. And this man only knows how to make hamburger helper. He has no cooking bone in his body. He can try and make a bowl of cereal, and that thing will catch on fire. But anyway, she leaves this man in charge of, putting them in the oven. He did his duty. He put them in the oven, but never turned it on. I guess he thought they would magically be done. I'm not sure. But everybody was there, everybody was waiting, and he brings out this tray of raw bacon wrapped around sausages. and he takes a bite of one, and he's like, something doesn't taste right. These are kind of cold.
Yeah,
And
no,
Mom
it
takes
does,
one look
stupid.
at them, one look at him, one look at them, one look at him, makes a face, and is just like, honey, did you turn the oven on? Did I what? Oh my god.
Oh,
Imagining marrying someone who has the cooking skills of a Sims 2 character.
Hey,
my god.
hey, hit me up. I
I
won't cook a thing. Wink. No.
Oh my gosh. Your dad is an absolute disaster. Oh man. Alright, so now that we've got stories out of the way, what we wanting to talk about now, We have free
What are some
reign here.
games?
Yeah? Alright, what kind of games we talking here?
What are some games that are coming out that you
Oh.
guys are looking forward to?
Cyberpunk.
I don't know much about Cyberpunk, but then again, I don't play a whole lot of games within that genre. I don't play a whole lot of,
Don't look at me. I'm centered around RPGs and PC games.
Okay. For my Nintendo, my Nintendo, folks, because I know y'all are pretty into Nintendo and stuff. How are we feeling about that, Super Mario 3D World remake for the Switch with the DLC?
Ooh.
Bring me Cat Bowser and then we'll talk.
Well, obviously, there's going to
Angel's
be
one thing on her mind.
there is
Catboy Bowser.
There is
Alright.
going to be Catboy Bowser. We all know that there is going to be Catboy Bowser. There's going to be all sorts of different cat boys and cat girls. We all know this.
Eat your heart out, Elon Musk.
Oh my
The first episode and Angel's already calling out Elon Musk.
Oh my god.
Fight me at Amazon.
Wow.
Oh man. Well, the reason I bring that up is because of the fact that I know that one is one of the games that's currently coming out, coming late February, I believe, of next year. I remember seeing an advertisement for something else coming later in March of next year. I don't remember what it was, but it was something that I was kind of interested in. Okay, how are we feeling about the new Smash Fighters? The ones that have come out recently, and what are our hopes for the newest ones?
I'd love to see either Phoenix Wright or Professor Layton. I think that'd be cool. But the chances of them coming in are kind of slim, which is sad.
Yeah, because
But-
like Mega Man only barely managed to come in. Like he was basically thrown in around the fourth game. And like I personally I've had a hope for Phoenix Wright because like I've even discussed this with one of my friends. She like we were talking about Smash Bros at one point, and she was sitting there going like, who if like you could have the ability to say someone could be on Smash, like who would it be? And I was like, you know, to be honest, I would like to see Phoenix Wright on Smash Bros. Because, I mean, like, I don't know if y'all have ever heard of it, but there is a game that's called, like, it's like it's a fighting game. I don't remember if it was, I think it's Marvel vs. Capcom? I don't remember.
Yes, I actually have that game.
Yeah, and he
I made
was
Winter
he was a fighter on there, and like, which like you wouldn't expect. You wouldn't really honestly expect this weird, spiky hedgehog-looking lawyer, getting up here on this battlefield of sorts and fighting and like actually like beating people up with his stupid little objection. But if you really honestly think about it, given the fact that that's been a thing, it just makes you kind of go like, what if he actually was in Smash? I mean, like literally they put in Steve from Minecraft in Smash.
Oh yeah, I totally forgot about that. Steve,
Sans.
let's open that big package.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah, when they...
Not to mention, Sans the skeleton is a Mii fighter costume.
Oh yeah.
Oh my god,
Sans.
yeah.
And they even came with a freaking the Megalovania track. That, okay, was I the only one who knew immediately the moment they released, like the moment they announced that like Sans was going to be a Mii fighter costume, the internet lost its mind. Like it blew up to the point where like social medias were down.
Yeah, I'm pretty
Is
sure
it-
everyone saw that coming.
Is it sad that whenever I saw the news for that, I just kind of looked at it, squinted, and was like, no, that's not true. That's kind of...
No,
And then it happened, and I was sitting there, it's just like, what?
but you know, it was the same way with me and Steve. I was like everybody was sitting there going, oh, the new Smash thing is coming, ooh, and I'm sitting here just like, okay, that's cool, but I don't really care. And they're like as I'm like going through the day, like I had just woken up, and I'm just sitting there just like, ugh. And my friends, like my group chat, my like that I have like separate, we like they just. One of them just suddenly jumps in and sits there just like, hey, y'all, have y'all seen the, new Smash Fighter announcement? And all of us are like, no. And she was just like, I think you may wanna check it out, cause,
I think I remember this day very well, because you came into my DMs and dropped Minecraft Steve is in Smash Bros. And then left. No context, nothing. And I was like, what? Is this a meme?
No, it wasn't
Is this a meme? You're like, no, it's real. And I'm like,
okay, the moment that happened, I was exhausted, dude. I literally just woke up and everybody was sitting there going like, Minecraft Steve, Minecraft Steve, Minecraft Steve, and I'm like, what? So I looked into it and I like started looking things up, and I'm like, new Smash Fighter, and I'm like seeing like the live streams going up and seeing people reacting to it. Like it's #1 on trending right now because it's people are losing their minds about this Minecraft Steve. And like I was like, oh my god. It's real. It's real. And it wasn't just Minecraft Steve. It came with a multitude of a lot of different Minecraft stuff. It came with Minecraft Steve, Minecraft Alex, several different variations of the skin, Zombie, and Enderman, along with several different Mii costumes that you can pick up, which is like the pig costume, like the pig fighter, creeper fighter, and then diamond arbor sword fighter. And I'm just looking at all of these things, and I'm just sitting here, and I'm just like, Sakurai. What the hell?
Does...
I remember seeing the Twitter posts of people like, so you'll put some Blocky Boy in here, but you won't put in my Waluigi.
What about Master Chief?
What about Waluigi?
But no, I remember that same morning, I was in the bathroom, I was brushing my teeth, I was getting ready for the day, my phone buzzes and I see it's from Kyle, and I'm like, oh, cool. And I look, no context, no bridge, Minecraft Steve is in Super Smash. And I was like, what do you mean? What are you talking about? Come back! Come back! You have to explain! And you didn't for like an hour, and you were like, sorry, I was doing something. I'm like, explain thyself.
Oh my gosh.
You can't just drop this bombshell and then leave.
I didn't mean to. Go ahead, Angel.
I remember that day. I saw on Twitter like trending new Nintendo Smash Direct. I was like, oh, cool. I'm gonna go check that out. Take a look at it. I see Minecraft Steve looking through a hole and Mario getting blown up by a creeper. I just turned off my computer and I went back to sleep because that wasn't worth staying awake for. There are things worth staying awake for. Breakfast, breathing, anything else except that.
Does anybody remember when diamond armor was like the biggest like stuff before netherite came around?
Yeah, I wish they didn't change that.
Yeah, but I mean, okay, the netherite
It
stuff.
is.
The netherite stuff is basically pretty much the same as diamond armor, just with an extra added perk of basically it won't burn in lava, which I get. But at the same time, it's like, why? Because that's kind of making someone a little bit invincible at that point. Like I get that there's still a lot of like things that could easily still kill someone. Like if somebody gets shot enough times, and then it's just like an automatic like bam bam, you're dead. But like really honestly, what is up with that? It's a cool addition, don't get me wrong, and I don't personally understand it that much.
When you've already had an established cap of, this is the pinnacle of what you can achieve, when you've already reached that point, to just blatantly go, yeah, but we're just gonna raise that bar a little higher, it kind of takes the meaning out of having gotten where you got to in the first place, because now you're not at the top. Boo-hoo, all of your work, all of the journey you've been on has kind of been for nothing. Now you get to go on another one. And that may work in some applications. I don't think it works in a game like Minecraft where they kept up that status quo for years.
Oh yeah, no. Well, since we're on the topic of Minecraft, how are we thinking about, like, how are we feeling about this new cave update that we got going on?
I am. I'm so excited for it.
It's about the same feeling as
I
being
was
put on a
just
wait
about
list for a
to say
therapist.
that.
It's about time it happened, but I expected it to happen several years ago.
How are
I'm
you
glad they're
feeling
doing the
about
cave
it, sir?
update, honestly.
Yeah. Oh, I haven't transitioned back for this. Alright, so I just have to have it cut. Alright. Oops. Oh well.
What?
Nothing. Okay. Trying to think.
Do we want to talk about our favorite part of the cave update?
Sure, why not? Favorite thing that they announced. Me personally, I'm really loving the gemstone edition that they've added. Because hello, that's cool. Finally, we get something else, like a new item.
Cool.
That's not
The
like
amethyst, wasn't it?
I think so. I think it was it was like amethyst crystals that you can use for like.
Oh yeah, it was geodes.
Yeah,
geodes.
And like
Wasn't
the
copper
geode
also
pockets.
added?
yes,
I
copper
believe so,
was in
yes.
fact added. Yes. Okay, trying to name off all the different things. There was the lush cave, deep like the different cave biomes.
Axolotls.
Axolotls. There was the cave update where it's like bigger caves, smaller caves, different, like instead of spaghetti caves, it's now Swiss roll caves. And then trying to think. There is new types of redstone blocks, Skulk, and all of them. There's the Warden, which, holy crap, is super cool, but at the same time, super freaky.
Terrifying.
Oh yeah, I can imagine players are definitely gonna like be sitting there just like aiming to smack that bad boy. And
36 doesn't feel 36.
Trying to
Alright, I'm
think.
getting really excited.
Oh yeah, no. Then there's also of course, the amethyst geodes, the crystals, and let's see.
The glow squid.
Okay, they got the crystals. They've got copper. They've added copper. They've added all sorts of like the tarnish and stuff. They've added trying to think, what else did they add? They added the
Archaeology.
Oh, the archaeology, which I believe
That is my personal favorite.
Yeah. Part of me wants to say that is part of Minecraft Education Edition. I could be wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
But I'm pretty sure part of that is part of the Minecraft
nice.
Education Education Edition. Either way, it's still cool. It's still cool. Don't get me wrong, but it is still cool. And then there was, of course, the surprise sacks that actually, like, hello? Yes, that helps so much, because they're actually, they took into account a lot of people are having trouble with their storage. So it's nice being able to have these little knapsacks along with the ride that reduce less space. And, like, sure, it's a little haphazard and weird mixed up, but if you really honestly think about it, it's so much better. It's so much more easier to be able to take things with you and not have to worry about space and stuff. And then, of course, can't forget...
With the haphazardness of it, I could take that as the drawback to the Pro, honest.
The what?
With, you said about the sack, right?
Yes.
You talked about how it'd be a haphazard and such, but with some of these new updates, there are cons to the Pro.
True.
Honestly,
Which is what I like.
the new mobs they were introducing and having people vote for, you guys know that my girlfriend is very much into squids, so she and I were incredibly excited when the glow squids were announced. However, when we voted for them, we kind of there was a bit of a storm going on.
Yeah.
And apparently that's because there was a lot of controversy and a lot of like people were pinning the victory of the glow squid over what I believe was the
Moo Bloom.
The Moo Bloom, thank you.
Moo Bloom and the Isolager, I believe.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And apparently the glow squid only won solely because of the fact that a YouTuber kept sitting there saying, "Bros, like, totally vote for the glow squid." Like, I don't know what this dude sounds like, but like a lot of people were sitting there getting pissed off about this because of the fact that this whoever this YouTuber was sitting there going like, "Bros, like, if you're a true fan, like, you would totally vote the like glow squid," which I get.
I mean, I voted for the glow squid just for the sake of voting for it.
Yeah,
I thought
exactly.
I
No,
wanted to see it.
like, I'm pretty sure like a good majority of us here at this table can say that we wanted the glow squid. I know for a fact Milo here actually wanted the Moo Bloom, which, like,
But I'm still fine with the squid.
oh yeah,
I don't mind.
No, and I'm like, I totally get you, and I'm like, I'm kind of sad about the Moo Bloom too, but at the same time, I'm also like, yes, squid.
Squid.
I just, and like, I'm pretty sure, like, this became a little bit of an issue when it came to a lot of people who, like, finished up the vote, and everything, because as soon as the glow squid won, several people, and like this was,
Oh, they were pissed.
oh, they were so mad, and then there was, like, hell, there was even somebody, like, there was a lot of people within the server who were losing their minds. They were so upset to the point where I eventually got to the point where I just had to step in and say, hold on, I'm sorry, this just isn't working. I understand.
And sorry, you continue.
I just,
I
You can go ahead.
I was gonna say,
Just a simple vote literally set people at each other's throats, and it was terrifying.
Yeah. It was a little ridiculous. I'm also gonna clear some things up for the lovely listeners. Everything is all right now.
Mm-hmm.
Everything's good.
The drama
all-
has long passed.
Oh yeah.
Oh yes.
No. And we're not gonna linger on that because the decision has been made. We are happy with what is happening. And if Move Bloom ever gets
What's
the chance
done
to
is
come
done,
up,
and you can't undo it.
yeah, exactly. And if Move Bloom ever does get the chance to come back again, then most definitely we're definitely going to be voting for that. That is if there isn't a contest that comes along and we're just all like, ooh, pretty.
Sorry, I saw something that made me laugh. But yeah, as somebody on the side of wanting the Moo Bloom, I personally was very angry at, well, like, I wasn't angry at the people who voted for the squid. Like, I'm fine with that. I was more so angry at the fact that it was so...
Someone used their follower count.
But, yeah, I'm excited to see the squid.
Yeah.
From
feel
what
like
they
it'll
said,
spice
they're
up the
actually going to add to the lakes in the caves. So.
Angel, did you say something?
I was just saying I believe it would spice up the ocean life some because, honestly,
Oh, yeah.
there's really not a lot of reason to look down there unless you really, really want that coral.
Oh yeah. Or
I have-
really want to find like a shipwreck or an ocean monument that I doubt anybody's ever
Unless you're
gonna-
like me, who hunts for shipwrecks and ruins.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
I'm terrified of the ocean, so I normally avoid it like the bubonic plague. But I feel like I would be able to force myself to go look
Milo?
down there a little bit every so often just to see a little glowy squid boy.
Yeah, and like
Or
don't
girl.
forget, heckin' Minecraft is known for creative mode, so you don't have to do it in survival.
Yeah, I prefer survival. I like the little challenge it poses.
Fair enough. Fair enough. I'm not gonna stop you from that. I don't know, and this is me just indulging because I'm a big old freak about this, but I don't know if y'all have seen, but there's actually been a mod that was made by a like a big time YouTuber. He actually commissioned some people to put together a Minecraft mod that's basically like Among Us, an Among Us Minecraft mod. It's got a texture pack and everything, and it's pretty much on point. It's super well put together. It's only currently the scaled right now, but it was made, like, it was commissioned specifically by I Am Wildcat from the Vanoss crew. I don't know if anybody else
Oh,
here-
okay.
Yes.
Yeah, I know them.
Oh.
Yeah. He specifically asked
Knowledge.
in that particular, he asked these particular people, hey, can you make a Minecraft mod that is Among Us? And some of the people were like, sure, give us the money and we'll do it. And they made it, and it looks fantastic. It looks absolutely amazing. And he even got together some of his bros and like was just like, let's play a game of Minecraft Among Us. And a lot of crazy things happened. It was so funny. But yeah, no. And then of course I'm like, hey, since we're on the topic Among Us. Actually, you know what? Now that I think about it, yeah, there is something I can talk about for Among Us.
Go ahead.
Did you hear that they've actually have been planning on making a whole new map for the game.
Yes, I did hear about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, the map in question is actually based off of the Stealing the Airship Flash game made by the same people.
Oh yeah. The whole Henry Stickman thing. And like that's
Henry Stickman series.
Oh yeah. And like I'm super excited to see this new map. But not only that, they've also done a couple of patches and stuff, fixing up certain things, because apparently some stuff would like freak out every now and then. But the thing that I'm super excited for is that they've actually recently released Among Us merch.
Oh yes!
And they have all sorts of different searches of like journals and like blankets, tumblers, and like shirts and stuff.
Speaking of, I actually bought one of the mouse pads.
The plushie.
Oh, the little plutties. One of these days, they're going to make plush toys, and we're just going to end up buying all the colors. There's going to be no mercy. Money,
I call yellow.
Money, what's that? We're...
Yes, please. Beans.
Get the little baby beans. But yeah. Loving me some Among Us.
For those who aren't aware, Kyle very much enjoys Among Us, and he draws a lot of OCs for Among Us. So
Oh yeah. No, I do a lot of stuff with all sorts of different imposters and crewmates. I'd show them, but I don't exactly have signatures on the pieces of art. And
We'll work on that down the line.
oh yeah. No,
yes.
We definitely will have like an OC display at some point if everybody's comfortable with it.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
And yeah. No, I'm super passionate about this silly little game, and I don't really know why. But then again, yeah, I've always been that way when it comes to like smaller games. It's like me and Cuphead and me with all these other different things.
Uh,
And that is so valid.
There's a lot of games I haven't played because I literally live under a rock. I don't have very many consoles. I don't pay attention much to the news. I'm blind when it comes to most of these.
I'm very limited on a technical basis, so a lot of my friends who all own gaming PCs and stuff like that are always talking about, hey, let's all get together and play this sweet new game. They'd always be talking about wanting to play those sweet new games and wanting to get everyone together, and I'd just be sitting there laughing nervously as my little nuclear-powered toaster begins to spit fire out of its ass.
Oh no!
Says the person who flings herself across the map in Breath of the Wild just to make me wheeze.
Wind bombs are a very, very clever and very technical speedrunning strategy. And it also flings you across the map, yes.
Okay.
Okay, since we're on the topic of Breath of the Wild, Hyrule Warriors, Age of Calamity.
Yeah.
I actually just recently bought the game. I've only gotten like a couple, like maybe 2 chapters in. And so far, it's actually a really decent, like a really nice game. Definitely has a lot of mechanics of Breath of the Wild and a lot of mechanics of Hyrule Warriors. And just Dynasty Warriors in general. And it looks pretty clean. I don't know what's happening so far. Like I don't know what happens later down the line. I've actually been trying to actively avoid spoilers. But so far, it looks like a good game. It's just for me, and I'm sure like Angel, you and I have had this conversation before. But the whole Age of Calamity doesn't really feel like a prequel. It feels more like
It feels like a side story.
Yeah, it feels like an AU of sorts, like an alternate universe. It doesn't feel like an actual prequel. And it just, I don't know, it just feels kind of raw and new. Not a bad thing, but just like, what is this? What?
Given how the original Hyrule Warriors was met with a lot of scrutiny among a lot of veteran fans of Legend of Zelda,
Oh yeah.
I have to give them props for what they accomplished in Age of Calamity, because they kind of steered away from making it into a clear Dynasty Warriors clone, and they turned it into this kind of... It's something you'd never think would come from a Zelda game.
Oh yeah. No.
Similarly to how a game that is functionally similar to Age of Calamity, I believe they call it Persona 5 Scramble in Japan, but it was given a new name in its most recent English trailer that it escapes me at the moment. But Persona 5 is also kind of pushing into that market as well, where they've announced the English dub of their Persona 5 Scramble game that is pretty much functionally similar, while also doing what Age of Calamity does. Well, technically, Persona 5 Scramble came out first. They kept true to the main components of the original game itself, while taking a Dynasty Warriors spin on it. And it surprisingly works well.
Oh yeah. And like definitely good like what's the word? It's like Nintendo's really been kind of like paying attention to like this combination of different things, and like I can understand the whole like people getting mad at regular like the first Hyrule Warriors being like pretty much just cut straight from the game. And like maybe I'm getting this wrong, but I'm pretty sure I remember hearing someone say that Nintendo at one point actually claimed that this game was theirs, even though technically it was a collaboration. Which I personally don't really believe all that much. But who am I to say? But I think this like Age of Calamity, it takes on that Breath of the Wild spin, and I can say for a fact it is most definitely that Breath of the Wild spin, because there are things that you can actually destroy as you're going through. Got the different mechanics of all the different stuff, the bombs, the magnesis, everything like that. Art pretty much on point, cutscenes on point, characters are on point, story's pretty decent. But then again, like I said, I've only gotten like 2 chapters in. But it, regardless of that, it looks amazing. Feels a little heavier than what I'm used to. But regardless, it's good game. And I highly recommend folks who haven't played it yet, definitely try to see and get their hands on it.
Given how Link in Breath of the Wild, if you did some poking around in all of the, like in Hyrule Castle and some of the lore books that you can find scattered throughout the wild, you will know that Link was pretty much heralded by everyone as this god of a warrior. Like at age 4, he was toppling fully grown knights. And when you hear that, and yet you see this, this random elf twink rolling down a hill and slowly succumbing to his death because he slipped on a banana peel, you kind of look at that with a little bit of scrutiny. You don't really believe it. Age of Calamity kind of helps with that a little bit, I feel. If you come straight from Breath of the Wild knowing all of these things that were mentioned in the main game, then you kind of look at it and go, yeah, that makes sense, because this was something that they constantly talked about. Link is apparently this, like, god who's capable of taking down an entire armada of guardians by himself before he finally got killed because he didn't decide to bring a shield. It's something that I kind of admire, and I don't see a lot of people actually mention this, because it's really just something that I think a lot of people overlook because, reading.
Yeah.
Like, I bought a video game. If I wanted to read this book, I'd go to a library. But honestly, knowing all that, it kind of draws me in closer to this game, because seeing this, like, fabled hero being able to actually do the things he was, like, really well known for, it's something I prefer. Like, even if the story is a little bit meh, it fits with the design aesthetic of a Dynasty Warriors game, because Link was pretty much regarded as a one-man army. The reason why they gave him the Master Sword and everything was because he was, at a young age, already able to topple veterans as if it were easy. And he also had the ability of the Flurry Rush, which I will get into my theory on later. Age of Calamity, it's definitely something that Nintendo was looking at like, this kind of didn't go well the first time around, so let's give it one more try, and if it doesn't work out, we're not going to do this again, because I assure you, they've done things like that in the past.
Yeah.
But Age of Calamity, it definitely has a lot of good that people tend to ignore.
What's that, Malachi?
You know, it really makes you think about how far Nintendo has come. Because I still remember being a kid and playing Legend of Zelda on my Game Boy Color, of all things. Or whatever little Game Boy that was that you had to attach a light to just to see the screen. I remember playing Legend of Zelda. I remember playing Pokemon. I remember playing, Kirby's Dream Land. I remember playing all these old little, I don't know, 8-bit, whatever, characters on screen. And now I'm looking at Pokemon now is in 3D. Everything is in 3D now, and it's impressive how far everything has become. From Mario jumping on from a platform gaming Mario to an open world Mario Galaxy, for example. It's literally open world. Sure, platforming here and there, but it is open. You get to travel from planet to planet. It's literally open worlds. Sure, Legend of Zelda had that too in the older games, but it's even more open. Not like, oh, go to next screen. I don't know. I find it so mind-boggling how far everything has come from back whenever I was younger. Because I still remember coming home, picking up my battery-powered little rat device, plugging a little light into it just so I could see the screen, and playing away.
I remember... Back in the day, in the days of the Game Boy Color, the Game Boy Advance, when that came out, I remember when we were all sitting around in our, like, lunchroom cafeteria, and one of these kids goes, "Hey, I got that Game Boy adapter thing that you can put on a GameCube. What if I brought it to school tomorrow?" And everybody in unison went, "Yes," because we all owned a copy of the hot game at the time, The Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past. And if anyone remembers that Game Boy Edition version, it also included The Legend of Zelda: Four Swords. And we were all sitting around the cafeteria table. We moved to the corner of the room so we could get to the power socket. We got permission from our teachers because, you know, it was one of those holiday event things. And since we were the younger folk, we didn't really have any place to do anything except sit in a classroom. So we just sat in that corner for about 4 hours, sitting on our Game Boy Advances, just playing The Legend of Zelda: Four Swords. And it only happened once, on one day, and never again. But it was such a memorable moment. You wouldn't think that a game like that, a series like that, would become something regarded as a Souls-like, a big old adventure game with so many copies sold, so many content creators finding and going after Zelda for the first time. I'm watching a
Hello?
Did Angel get cut?
Oh no!
Oh no!
Oh dear.
Oh boy.
Sorry, folks, for the technical difficulties.
Oh boy.
I think her Wi-Fi. Oh,
There she is.
That was interesting.
There you are.
As I was saying, you wouldn't think that a game as simplistic and just kind of dull as, if you think about it now in today's standards, those games are really bare bones. Like, they're like the Flash games of today. When people are making all these new games with like the Unity engine, people are still making Flash games to this day, even though it's being discontinued in December. I believe it's being discontinued at the end of this month. You wouldn't think that a game like that would become a staple on the Switch system. This open world 3D RPG just adventure where the main focus is not the same as the original. It is the exploration of a brand new world. Sure, games back in the day were just like a little escape, a little fun thing, but it never was about creating this vast world that far exceeds reality. It was about just creating a memory, and I think that's what a lot of people were thinking back in the day, and now it's more so about creating a whole world, something that people will remember and will go down in history as if it were an actual real thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's amazing, to be honest.
It is.
Coming from somebody who, during his childhood, I wasn't really that much into, like, Nintendo and stuff. Like, I did play, like, Pokemon Black and White. That was, like, my first proper Nintendo game. But I grew up with...
Which is valid.
A lot of computer games. I grew up with like Flash stuff. I grew up with World of Warcraft. And it's
Milo, cool math games.
I'm gonna be I'm gonna be honest with you. I did grow up with cool math games. Anyway. I was a cool math kid.
who wasn't?
Anyway.
Who wasn't a cool math kid? Like, really honestly, from me to you guys, who here has not played cool math games?
If you didn't have a computer class, you probably didn't go on cool math games. But if you had any form of class involving a computer, I guarantee you someone was on cool math games.
Yes. But I grew up with a lot of Warcraft, and I believe Cataclysm was my first expansion that I ever played. And that sparked, like, my love of gaming, and when I look back on, like, I get the same vibe that you guys get with, like, Zelda and Mario with World of Warcraft. Because if you look at World of Warcraft from 2007 to 2020, it's vastly different. And that just amazes me because all the player models look so much cleaner, nicer. All the plot is more interesting. Like, Why are you giggling?
I'm sorry, I just remembered like the old Pokemon player models on the older games. They look so lovely.
But yeah, it kind of warms my heart a little bit seeing how far one of my favorite games has gone, and it's very cool.
And same could be said about
very
any
cool.
Game. Same could easily be said about any game that
Mm-hmm.
that we've ever seen and enjoyed. Because like we grew up on these things, and these things are precious to us. And it's like you've got like so many memories attached to it, like how I have like memories attached to Twilight Princess, because it was actually specifically Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess, because the Wii version was the one that actually got me big into playing video games and into the Zelda fandom in general. Had it not been for Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess, I wouldn't be as much of a gamer as I am now. And it's just one of those things where if you just like really sit down and take these into account, you see that a lot of, like, as time goes on, so does this stuff, but it's still precious to you no matter how it changes. Unless it goes for the bad. Then at that point, it's got a bad ship.
I was younger.
From
I always
little
grew up.
pixelated Pokemon to creatures you can actually interact with.
Back when I was a little toddler, my parents used to play this top-down most city builder thing called Anno 1404. And I'm sure some people will probably remember the name, but will probably have not thought about it in years, because it really wasn't revolutionary. It really wasn't anything special. And despite that, it's still a game that I hold close to my heart, despite being, honestly, subpar at best. Because it was the first game that I ever was given, like, exposure to, because my mom would just sit down and play that game while waiting for me to go to sleep. And when I was around the age of 4, I believe, was when I first got to play World of Warcraft. Like, the original, like, Burning Crusade expansion had just come out. Everybody was playing it. Everybody's, like, kids were also getting a taste of the game because everybody was so into it, because it was just this whole big old revolutionary big world, forgetting that Dark Age of Camelot existed and did exactly what they did. But I digress.
Yeah. No, I get you.
It's amazing to see that games from back in 2001 are either still around or still the top of their market.
Oh, yeah.
World of Warcraft Shadowlands is huge. Like, there are so many people who are going back to the game, especially people that I know who were like, I'm never touching another World of Warcraft again. And then, not even a week later, they're playing this new expansion, having pre-ordered it. It's amazing to see. And it really says a lot about how far technology has come and how far people can take the skills that they're developing and nurture them into something huge.
Oh, yeah.
These giant worlds that they're building that still exist today, people are still making content on World of Warcraft. People are still playing it. People are still paying that $15 a month to be able to play and see their friends and their guild members and their raid team. I remember friggin' pre-ordering the damn thing, and I still haven't played it yet, and I probably should, because I pre-ordered the Shadowlands expansion just like everyone else. Everyone that I knew from 12 years ago, this is the longest back I still communicate with anyone. They are still playing World of Warcraft. And I'm sure if I logged in to my level 120 hunter, my Blood Elf hunter that I bought a race token for because I didn't want to keep him as an orc, I would never have guessed that I would still be talking to those people and making memories, conquering dungeons, bringing down raids. I never would have believed I'd still be talking to these people 12 years later, and yet here we are. All of these games, like Legend of Zelda, Mario, World of Warcraft, Final Fantasy, all of these like names that have been around for a long time, it's amazing that they're still around, because there are so many games and series and universes that just fall through the cracks. And to think that they are taking these big brands and like making things out of them, such as the MMORPG genre, which I'm pretty sure was just a little tech experiment back in the day where somebody was like, what if we made a world that everyone could be in, back in like the days of EverQuest, I believe. I am sure nobody expected this kind of market to be such a big thing in the world.
Yeah.
And to be honest, it's not really that widespread of a market. It's very niche. Only a certain type of people like it, mainly extroverts, to be perfectly honest. People who are social will be playing a social aspected game where communicating with players is kind of required. And that's another thing that I wanted to mention, is that a lot of these games, I feel like they create an environment for people who are able to relate to what they're seeing. Like a lot of games that take place in a modern setting, like the Persona games, how they're kind of in day you're just a high school student, but by night you're fighting crime and demons with the power of friendship. I think there's a lot of charm to be made in realizing that even if you are this big old, you're pretty much God himself in this weird fantasy world, you're still just a high school student who has to conform to society, who has to just make friends, find work, make money. You're still just a teenager in the end. And I think a lot of people can kind of get with that feeling, how despite the fact that you could be a god in the making, capable of so much, you could be an omnipotent, charming, proficient, kind and gutsy individual, and yet in the end you're still just a high schooler. Like, you're still just another person. And I think that's a nice feeling that a lot of people get to. And I feel that way for a lot of games, where some people will feel like they're lost adrift in the wild, like they've woken up in a world that they don't feel like is one they belong in. And that's definitely a feeling that I get in Breath of the Wild. How the main character, Link, he's woken up in this world 100 years later. Everything he knows is just gone. And even if he did remember them, it's just gonna only worsen the pain. And that's amazing to think about, how you don't even see this thing being told to you. And yet as you play, you kind of get this feeling. Like the survivor's guilt theory for Breath of the Wild, how as you go along with the scattered memories and pushing through, because in the beginning of the game, spoiler alert, all you have is your instincts and this voice in your head that's telling you to go into this dark and menacing castle that's just covered in this miasma of death and decay. And yet, despite that, it's more than just that, because you don't even get a quest to do much else. You get a quest marker telling you to go to some random village that isn't even set to your primary if you're not specifically looking at your adventure log. Your quest marker points directly to the castle. And you're not given anything else other than, I was told to go to the castle. And yet, if you go out of your way to just find a road and then go that direction, find a direction and then go there, you find this world that has changed so much that from this weird world-ending event that you know nothing about, the entire world has struggled to survive. Monsters are everywhere. They don't stay dead. There's this weird blood moon that just brings everything back. Walking away from a village is a death wish. And yet, all of that doesn't even begin to go into the story of this random youth, this random kid, pretty much. This young adult who's just woken up in this random cave, no memory, no identity. All he knows is the name that other people have called him by. And yet, as you go along, you unearth this grand story of how you were a hero. People looked up to you. Even the people who hated you eventually became your friend. You were destined for greatness. And you died. You failed. And here you are 100 years later, having to deal with the fact that you failed. Everyone is gone. Your friends are dead. The world that you're saving, it doesn't really do much. You're not really saving much. Nobody's gonna touch that ruined castle except for scavengers. You're saving a dead kingdom. It's like trying to resuscitate a corpse that's already passed.
One that's been
And yet-
long dead.
And yet 100 years later, here you are. And in the end, the only reason you're doing so is because there's still one person left from your old world. From everything you knew, there's still that one constant. The princess you were assigned to protect, who devoted her life, who devoted more than her life, an entire century to nothing but constant struggle, constant pain. And you don't even remember her name. This person that you were apparently sworn to protect, this person who apparently saved your life, and yet you don't even remember her. Unless you're able to recreate the exact scene that you raised. Unless you're able to find those specific spots in the world, because you have to find them on your own, by dumb luck. And yet you still don't have all your memories in the end. You just remember all of the tragedy that befell everyone. And to be honest, is that even worth it? To remember that you, despite the fact that you were able to fall alongside the people you fought with, now you get to live while they get to perish? Is that really worth it?
That's a heavy topic.
It's a heavy topic, and this
Yeah.
is the story that it gives you without even speaking. This is going off of the cutscene. This is the entirety of what you go through without realizing it. And I think it's a very strong theory that holds a lot of credence. Because I don't think any person, no matter how strong they are, could ever go through something like that. And it's mentioned in the diary entry in Zelda Study. If you are dumb enough to ignore the obvious path to the final dungeon, if you are willing to go off the beaten path, going past guardians, silver moblins, and Lionels that appear out of nowhere, you can find remnants of who you were, told by other people. In King Rome's study, in Zelda's bedroom, you can find books detailing your adventures and how you were chosen as the protector of the princess because of who you were. Zelda's diary goes on about how much she hates you at first. How you're so silent and always just potentially thinking bad things about her. And yet, despite that, you're still there. And despite all of the stuff that they kind of lay on you, it turns out that even Zelda herself kind of began to appreciate you for who you were.
Even going
And-
as far as falling in love.
Mayhaps. Mifa, I believe, was the one who fell in love with Link. And honestly, I really admire that, how despite them being worlds apart, their lifespans just so far apart,
She still loved him.
she still loves him. Knowing the fact that, Zora have far longer lifespans than anyone else. Like, in the Zelda series, they pretty much have, I believe it's double the lifespan of a Hylian, although I could be wrong.
I'd say about
This
maybe
person,
a little over 200.
yeah, this princess who hated your gut, apparently sacrificed her life to save the entire kingdom and bring you back from death. So why did she even bother? Was it because it was her duty? Was it because she knew that in the end you would be the only one able to stop this calamity? Maybe so. But if you read a little further and look into the memories that you have to find on your own without any help, aside from a painter who can tell you a brief description of where something is, you learn that Zelda just had you all wrong. Link, they had him all wrong. He's not a reflection of the player. His silence back in those days was because he felt the weight of many people. The weight of about thousands, maybe even millions of people. All of those hopes, all of those lives on his shoulders, and on the shoulders of the champions as well. He stayed silent. He kept a stoic expression because of that. And even during the main game, you kind of see a little bit of his personality breaking through because, he doesn't have those memories. He doesn't have that weight on his shoulders. And yet, something in him is telling him to just put on a face, to do the things that he's being told to do, to follow this random voice. He has a duty that is being set before him, and he doesn't know why. And you can see in cutscenes how whenever this happens, he kind of goes silent. His expression kind of falls. He's back to that silent hero type. Because that's, in essence, in his mind, like in his very being, that's just kind of who he is. He's the silent hero with the hopes of many on his shoulders. And that's really sad to think about. Because you get to see this youth, this young energy, whenever you're cooking, whenever you're riding horses, whenever you're doing the Sand Seal minigame. In the Japanese version of Breath of the Wild, it is implied by Link in the quest log because it is written from his perspective that he loves the Sand Seal minigame, that he always wants to get a better time and improve at it because it's fun. You see this young, youthful energy that was just taken away because of destiny. And it's really sad to think about. And that, I think, is the beauty of the evolution of games, how you can tell a story this complex that it took me about 20 minutes to explain. And yet I still haven't even scratched the surface.
And that's just putting Zelda lore itself into a little bit of perspective. because if you really sit down and look into the entirety of the skeleton of Zelda lore, it is pretty heavy, and some of the stuff that they go into is pretty freaky. And like this, like you said, it's just merely scratching hardly the surface of the entirety of it.
There are people who devote their lives to games like Zelda because they go so deep into what they do that the amount of creativity that you can utilize on these universes, the amount of content, the amount of stories and lore and theories, everything that you can make out of these is nearly endless. The possibilities are endless. As a series continues to grow, so too does its following. And as that following grows, the substance of that universe begins to swell. And it's astonishing.
Oh yeah, I most definitely agree. We have about, I'd say, around 40 minutes before we gotta end this, end the podcast. So why not? We take this opportunity and jump to a new topic.
Absolutely.
And I'm not doing this to cut you off, Angel, because like I completely agree, and I'm like this has been like a real good topic to talk about. But I think
No, I'm not offended at all. I've said everything I need to say without spoiling the entire game in 7 seconds flat.
oh yeah, no, I get you. I think let's see. What can we talk about now?
We could go back to Christmas time.
You know what? Yeah, sure. Here's a question. Everyone here.
Yes.
If you are expecting gifts, what are you hoping for this Christmas?
Ooh. Excuse me. I am hoping for a Edea Shroud jacket. Cosplay jacket.
Of course you are. Stinking weird.
Hey!
You and your Hades.
I do love Hades.
Yeah, obviously, because I mean you can see the little poster like right behind you.
Disney Hades, by the way, lovely listeners, not the other Hades.
Angel, what about you? Are you expecting anything for Christmas?
Yeah. Honestly, I have been, I'm really honestly stoked to start making gifts as well, but I am hoping that I get one of those gift in a jars. And if you don't know what those are,
Ooh.
I believe some people might be familiar with them. It's when you receive a recipe. It's a jar full of dry ingredients. And on the front of it is a card that details a recipe. Back when I was younger, my relatives, because my parents never got me anything, boo-hoo, they used to bring me these gift in jars. And one of them was always a peppermint hot chocolate mix. And it would be
Ooh.
a jar full of hot chocolate mix, peppermint bits, some sugar, and all of this other stuff, including marshmallows. And it would just be delicious. All I had to do was put it in a jug and then fill it with hot water, or splash a little bit of milk in there as well. And it would be amazing. Really all I want for Christmas is to see my girlfriend, because COVID-19 has made that really hard to do.
Yeah.
Me and my partner, we've we got together around the beginning of the quarantine when it first happened because we never saw it coming. So we've literally only seen each other three times, maybe not even twice this entire year. And we really made it work, honestly.
Good.
And it's Christmas. Honestly, I'm looking forward to the holidays because I can't wait to be able to make gifts for people and receive those things like the gift in a jar. I'm also hoping somebody will decide to get me that tablet that I've always, because I like picking up creative stuff because you guys know I make music a lot. Like, I love making music. I can pump out like 5 songs in a day, in a week rather.
Oh yeah, we witnessed it because you were the one in a matter of from Wednesday to now. You literally just spat out like 6 different songs, and they are currently playing now. Some of the music that you guys have been hearing is music that Angel has put together.
If you ever sat in front of an iPad for more than 8 hours, you probably recognize tracks as being little spin-off versions of the available live loops you can get, because GarageBand, I'm pretty sure, is pretty much discontinued, but I still like to use it. It's a nifty tool when you're poor.
Yeah.
Back when I was younger, I used to make songs a lot. I used to love sitting in front of my piano, my little sampler, sticking a noise in there and just going nuts on it and just making something weird.
Oh yeah, music is a big part of a lot of people's lives. Whether it be just songs or something that you put together yourself, music is something special. A lot of people have memories attached to them and all sorts of stuff like that.
Yeah. Music for me has always been kind of a coping mechanism. It's always been something I could fall back on when because people have probably heard me just drop these random bits of, oh, my life is terrible. Well, it's not anymore, obviously, because I'm sitting in this podcast right now talking to you about how great my life is and how fun my hobbies are. But music was a way to cope, and making songs, I used to call them things like Friendship Rainbow and stuff like that because I kept believing that there was purity in life and stuff like that. And I think that those moments kind of kicked in when I picked it back up in recent years, because I got an iPhone, which means I got GarageBand to toy around with. Being able to just sit in front of an instrument and make something that people enjoy hearing is a gift. And I think that goes for a lot of things, like art and cooking. I think that is what the spice of life is, and I am really glad to be able to be making music for the Nightly Muse podcast and starting my SoundCloud rapper profile. It is time. No, I don't like rapping. But it's really great being able to make something with your hands, honestly. Especially when you're in COVID and dealing with college. If you're a college student right now and you're currently taking classes, I applaud you. We are struggling right now. If you're not doing module-based classes, which I highly recommend during the quarantine, to talk to your student board or your ASPCC or whatever, any equivalents of, just talk to them about what are some classes that I can take for my major that use remote learning bases, because you really should. Because otherwise what you have to contend with is some random 70-year-old who has never touched a computer in their life being forced to go through the ropes of technology that they have never used before. And I'm not saying that to insult them. I'm saying that to just be sympathetic of them, because a lot of these people don't really use technology, even though that's like a big thing nowadays. It's
Yes.
a lot of these people don't really touch technology to begin with. So seeing them have to like use these fancy new products, try to find ways to take that in-person learning and translate it into a digital environment doesn't really work out a lot. And that's kind of why I'm thinking for both the teachers and the college students it sucks. So if you're really struggling, if your teachers are like being insufferable and you're like, you can't handle it because they're constantly demanding 12 assignments a day because they assume you're at home all the time, take a module class. You won't be as social with your students, and I apologize if that's something that you're really big on, but it's a lot more suited for the situation we're all in. We have to stay home and quarantine ourselves. Like, I wouldn't have gotten this far without module classes. I started taking them this term back when I already took like 3 different terms of just constant quarantine, trying to do these Zoom meetings. Now I'm taking these module classes. Like next year I'm taking political science and astronomy, and it's going well, especially because I don't have to worry at all about Zoom meetings. My schedule works exactly as I want to put it. It takes what already is, in essence, a college concept and just cranks it up to 11. You're pretty much in charge of your own schedule. It's like working from home.
Yes.
I'm sorry, I really went off on a tangent there.
Oh, no, you're fine.
You were totally okay. Let me take this opportunity to grab a hold of the fishing rod, reel it back in, and pass it over to Malachi. What are you hoping for Christmas this year?
I completely forgot that was the topic. Honestly, unfortunately for my family, we kind of came to an agreement that we're not going to do anything special for Christmas this year.
Oh.
With things going on my end, I'm not going to get anything.
Yes.
Damn.
Well,
So.
I'll tell you what. You get an early Christmas present this year. You ready? Smooch, smooch, smooch.
Aww. Cutie.
No smooching at the podcast table. I'm glad she isn't sitting across the table, because you'd probably have to just jump across it and you'd knock over my food.
I would never do that. You know I would.
You stick your knee in my burger, we're gonna have problems.
Well, I'm not coming to smooch you. I'm over here. I got my wife by my side. You ain't.
I'm sorry, what was that? I don't speak Gremlin.
Are you sure, Milo? Because I would have thought that you are fluent in one.
Alright, maybe a little bit. But
Okay. Here's a question
You
I've
would
been
eat
meaning.
chicken nuggets in the dark. What are you talking about?
chicken nugget. What's up?
Here's a question I've been meaning to ask since the beginning, but we just switched over to a different topic. Candy cane flavors.
Ooh. Where's this going?
Basically, I'm asking you
I've
if you've ever
never-
had any other candy cane flavors besides peppermint. If you have, which ones have you had, and which one would you say is your favorite?
no.
Oh, I have a lexicon of candy cane flavors, because I have made, different candy cane flavors exactly once in my life, but it was still cool. But my favorite candy cane flavor ever is basically this white chocolate mocha flavored candy cane, and it was amazing. Now, I'm not much of a coffee person. I prefer tea. I 100%
Same
prefer
here.
tea. And yet,
Same.
this white chocolate mocha flavored candy cane that came in this like really cool box. It was just 2 candy canes in this really fancy box. And it was the prettiest little thing I've ever seen. It was basically the size of from my forefinger to my thumb, and it had a really slight curve to it because whoever was making it apparently didn't know how to make candy canes right. It didn't have the really nice cane looking hook. I really wish it did, but it was delicious. And usually when I eat candy, I'm fat. Like, I eat a lot of food. I like food. I really like food.
Hey guys, I'm fat.
And yet, you can't help but want to savor this candy cane because it's so good. It tasted like the word gourmet. That's how good it was.
Oh wow.
Ooh.
Like, I wish they had coffee that tasted that good. And other flavors I've had, apple turnover flavored, which is basically just apple and cinnamon and kind of a bready flavor. I have had lemon bar flavored,
Ooh.
so it's kind of like lemon and vanilla. I have had Dr. Pepper flavored candy canes. Yes, those were a thing at one point.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I remember those.
Yeah,
I bought a box for my mom. She didn't
my
like them very
sister was
much.
crazy for them because
Confession.
you would
What's up?
think, with how addicted my sister was to Dr. Pepper, you would think Coke still had cocaine in it.
Oh.
Angel, one moment, please, sweetheart. Yes, Malachi?
Yeah.
What?
Angels rant free, jungle tree jamboree. But anyway.
I've got a lot to say about candy cane.
But,
You guys chose the topic I'm the most versed in.
Let's say, let's add this to the list of things Malachi has never had, but I've never had any other candy cane other than peppermint.
Oh no!
You can't go wrong with an old classic.
You really can't. Like, let's be real, you really can't.
Yeah, but like, I've always wanted to try the others, but like, I never got the chance to. This is basically falls in lines with the fact that, fun fact, folks, I've never had slushies or shaved ice.
Or Danish, or cobbler, or this or that. I'm going to make you
You've
eat it
never
all.
had a Danish?
She's never had a Danish.
Oh my god, honey, we are taking you to my place and I'm making you a cream cheese Danish faster than you can say what's the
cheese.
country that Danish stuff is from?
Okay, another confession. I've never had any other donut other than glazed, and maybe like...
At least it's a good donut.
To be honest, this might cause a little uproar, but I actually don't like that many donut flavors other than chocolate and glazed and powdered.
There's flavors?
You'd eat a donut
there's-
if they served it to you with mayo on it.
I think that's the one thing with mayo I refuse to eat. Thank
I
you very
literally thought
much.
it
Well, I thought I was
sweetheart,
onto something
there's
there.
more.
What?
There's more flavors than I think
Okay.
this world's rocked a
I
little
only
bit.
knew of like regular and maybe chocolate, but that's pretty much it.
Oh man, I love when I first came to where I live. I'm not going to reveal that because I don't want anyone to like play a prank on me because I get the feeling that either one of you or somebody listening would get the idea of, I'm gonna do something funny and scare the bejeebus out of Songbird over here. Please don't. But I remember when I first came here, I went to this really nice donut place and just bought a big old... My ma, who's now like pretty much my adoptive mom, we went to this donut place, bought a big old pack of donuts, big old box of them, and we had raspberry Bismarcks. And let me tell you something about raspberry Bismarcks. You take a big old like little rectangle of pastry, shove a fistful of jam in there, and then after all that, you glaze it and cover it with that good sugary walking pile of diabetes. I would pretty much devote my entire life to you right there. That stuff is delicious. Raspberry Bismarcks, and well, I don't think they're called Bismarcks, but raspberry-filled donuts like that. If you give those to me, I am your friend for life. They're so good.
Unfortunately, I don't know what those are, so I can't give them to you.
You will. You just open up your mailbox and they're not even in an envelope or anything. There's just a giant bread loaf-sized raspberry donut in there, shoved in there. Doesn't even fit.
So haphazardly, like the jelly is dripping out of the mailbox.
Yeah, and it's bulging at the hinges.
No!
Gross.
Grody!
What do you mean, Milo? You'd eat it straight from the mailbox.
Yeah, you're right.
You'd eat it with the mailbox.
Then again, this is the same idiot who would probably scream at you to give you...
Excuse me, what do you mean, idiot?
You know exactly what I mean.
We've already discussed this. Kyle's the one who screams challenges at God behind a 7-Eleven. And Milo here is the one that fights a rat over a pizza bagel.
I'm the one who already ate the pizza bagel because you guys were
throws
slow.
hands, fists up in the air and punches a rat over a pizza bagel.
Did I ever tell you guys how I actually had to fight a rat to get back my 7-Eleven taquito?
Oh my god. At this point,
Honestly, I just would have let it have it.
at this point, I believe it. I believe it.
I mean,
Yeah, little
the
bit of a
most
story
I've
here.
had
This
to
will be a
deal with
quick one, I
woodland
promise.
critters is being chased by a raccoon whenever I went to go pee in the woods. But
Oh,
anyway.
yeah. You guys probably remember this, but like 2 weeks ago, I opened up my back door and I see this raccoon just staring longingly into this lit candle on our back porch. I don't know why it was left lit. I'm pretty sure somebody was just using it as a lighter because we lost all of our lighters. But this raccoon was just staring longingly into this candle, and I'm pretty sure the reason why it looked so offended is it tried to grab the flame and eat it.
Oh,
Because
no.
that candle smelled really good. As soon as I open the back door, it takes one look at me and it just stares at me. And I go,
Why can't
"Can I help you?"
get it?
And then he just runs off.
Why can't I get it?
Trying to grab
Anyway.
the flame of a candle reminds me of the time someone gave a raccoon cotton candy and it tried to wash it.
Oh, I remember that. That was the cutest. So, about the time I tried to fight a rat for a 7-Eleven taquito, I used to live in Las Vegas, Nevada, and if anybody's ever been to Las Vegas, Nevada for about 5 minutes, you know how much of a cesspool it is outside of being a really bad tourist trap.
Rats
I
are
say
constant.
tourist trap. I say tourist trap because some of the tourists are still there, they just can't get out because they don't have any money.
Wow.
It's bad. It's bad. Anyway,
I've been stuck here for 15 years!
I'm pretty sure there's someone there that's like that, and I am deeply sorry for them.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Oh my
This-
god.
me and my sister were walking out of a 7-Eleven. She's like, "Hey, I'm gonna go with a friend. You can go head on home without me if you want." And I'm like, "Okay, I'll do that because, you know, I don't like being around you anyway." I didn't actually say that to her face because she'd beat me within an inch of my life, but that's the feeling that was there. And anyway, as I'm walking, I have to go circle around the 7-Eleven because for some reason our apartment complex was placed in such a precarious way that we have to walk around the 7-Eleven to get to the street to get back to our apartment complex. I'm walking around, I'm at the back of the 7-Eleven, and there's the usual passed out junkie, of course.
Got 10 minutes.
And this,
Thank you, Malachi.
there's just this,
20 actually.
it comes out from underneath this little refrigerator looking thing. This little big old freezer full of ice. And he just grabs onto my taquito bag and just starts yanking as if he had the strength of 1,000 suns. And he's just yanking, and I'm trying to fight this guy. I lift him up off the ground and I try to slam him into the freezer and it doesn't go well. I'm an 8-year-old trying to fight this random rodent for the rights to have a $2 2-for-2 taquito bag. And in the end, he made off with one of the taquitos.
Damn.
So that's how I got yelled at by my sister for accidentally losing her taquito.
Oh my gosh.
Could you blame me though? It was a buffalo chicken taquito. It was good stuff. It was good garbage.
The kind of garbage that Milo eats.
It's the kind of garbage that makes cats like me go up.
It's the first episode.
Well, I mean, if you can call me a fat frick, I can call you a garbage raccoon. I swear. I'm not that fat.
Oh,
I'm not
you
fat, though.
are. Says the man who ate 3 entire pizzas.
5.
Those are rookie numbers. Those are rookie numbers.
Oh yeah, I forgot he ate 5. Oh my god, okay, you okay?
Oh my god. My mind's eye won't stop it. I keep imagining like this little toddler fighting a raccoon and then he brought up the pizzas and now he got it.
Oh my gosh. Kyle, you fat.
I think we can say one F word.
Tried to mute, but then I was like, no.
No, I'm not. I'm not gonna.
Oh.
Okay. Okay.
Oh, this is a good time.
Here's a topic.
Man,
I'm doing a
devolved
challenge
into
on Breath of the
chaos.
Wild.
Oh, this is the ending, isn't it?
No, not even close. We're still got at least a good 17 minutes.
Oh god.
Here's a topic. I'm doing a challenge
no.
run on Breath of the Wild.
Oh yeah, you're
Ooh.
doing the permadeath with something else.
Yeah, it's a permadeath with no armor upgrade, so I'm pretty much only wearing the warm doublet and the Hylian pants. I am also doing no fairy fountains. I'm doing no. I'm considering doing no divine feasts, but I'm not allowed to pick up Lazal weapons, Lionel weapons, Vocal weapons, Moblin weapons. Basically, monster weapons I'm not allowed to pick up. I'm allowed to pick up things like Traveler swords, Soldier claymores, Woodcutter's axes, boomerangs, Korok leaves, tree branches, stuff like that. But I pretty much have to go out of my way to find weapons. And I'm also adding on the extra challenge of not increasing my life at all. So I'm always stuck at 3 hearts.
Ugh,
Mm,
that's
And I can only get health from elixirs.
damn.
So anytime I'm like cooking with food, the only time I cooked food was to get the warm doublet. And I didn't even eat it. I just sold it to Beetle the soonest I got, after he stole one of my last razor sharp rhino beetle, which I'm really upset about because I really wanted to make a mighty elixir because I was going to go fight the stone talus, but no. I'm also not allowed to fast travel or use any form of towers, so I'm just not unlocking the towers. So I don't have a map, I can't fast travel, and I can't use mob weapons, and I can't increase my life, so I have to rely solely on my own skill, of which there is a sheer lack of. The only thing I know how to do is send myself in Mach 5 across the entirety of the Hyrule landscape, while at the same time, for some reason, carrying
Don't do this to me
a
again.
exploding
Don't.
firework of a bow and arrow.
Don't do this.
Don't do this to me
It's pretty
again,
fun.
please.
I like challenging myself,
I
and
beg
that's
you
kind of why
again.
I write songs now.
Yeah.
One of these days, I want to record I want to write some lyrics for one of the songs.
That would be interesting.
One day.
One day. I know you'll get there, Angel. I believe in you.
Same here.
I'm okay.
Sorry, I had a coughing fit.
No worries.
You doing okay, Mr. Miss Malachi?
I don't know, Angel, am I?
Here, let's test that
You-
theory. Hey, Malachi, guess what?
There you go.
I drooled! No!
Why'd you tell us?
I don't know!
Here, babe, let me clean you up. I'll get a nice little napkin. Here, let me just...
There you go, sparkly. Sparkly like a
That on
cold
me.
Stink.
slate of ice
You're all
in a
stinky.
roller rink.
Oh my goodness. I'm still losing my mind about the whole rat with the taquito.
Oh my god!
That jerk made off with one of my taquitos.
Oh my gosh. Wait, Angel, look out! There's a rat at the middle of the table. He's come back for more.
Oh shit!
No.
Is that a rat?
Yeah, dude.
Sorry.
Oh
Sorry.
no! A rat!
Oh. Sugar spice.
And everything nice, dude.
A
Oh,
rat.
snickerdoodle!
Sugar
A
heavy
rat!
iced tea.
Sugar honey iced tea. Oh, sugar honey iced tea. A rat.
Stop saying it!
Oh, soft shell taco supreme!
What? Sugar honey iced
Rat.
tea?
Stop it! I will send you cursed images. Don't test me, woman.
I used to have this teacher who would say that all the time.
Oh, sugar honey iced tea.
She was, yeah, she would, and then she'd just yell that out of nowhere, and us kids would just lose our minds. 'Cause we had no idea that it was
An
it
acronym.
was it was basically an acronym for
Sugar
Well, you
honey
know.
iced tea. I like the way that teacher thinks.
yeah. She
Oh,
would just
man.
yell that, and we'd all laugh and not know what it meant. So one day, one of the kids said it at home,
Oh no.
and the parents put two and two together. Just comes into class one day and she's like, kids, I would like it if you guys didn't use that.
Oh, no.
And we were confused. We were like, why not? It's not a it's not a bad word. Unfortunately, it is.
Little did they know.
Little did we little munchkins know.
It was
Us
not.
little teeny tiny candlesticks.
Oh, that reminds me of another story. If
Oh,
anyone would like
no.
to hear the stories of when I used to go to public school, I, back in 5th grade, had a teacher by the name of Mr. Knutson. And he was pretty much textbook, God-fearing American, trucker hat, pretends that he has some kind of knowledge in musical theater, kind of American. And one day, he would never let anyone say frickin' darn. You weren't allowed to even say that. So, one day,
The one
he's
man
like,
who consumed Prilosec.
consume Prilosec, it'll bring you joy. Anyway, this guy, at one point in time, he's like, hey, can someone help me get these new desks into the classroom? And I believe it was this kid by the name of Zach. He's like, oh, sure, I'll do it. And then he's like, okay, you and Angel, you also help out. So, this kid and he's like, I'm twice his size, because I was a big kid. I was big boned, big bellied. So, we're bringing the desks in, and at one point in time, the kid goes, I'm tired, and just drops the desk on my foot out of nowhere.
Ouch.
Oh no.
And
I know.
the first thing to come out of my mouth is son of a f***ing. So,
Oh.
Mr. Knutson runs into the classroom, entire face red. He's got the look of a man on a mission.
Oh my
And then he
gosh.
sees me with a desk stuck on my foot, because these things were like 100 pounds. These things were massive, solid metal desks with like pull-out compartments.
Mhm.
And he's like, did you just swear? Yeah. He looks down at the fact that there's a desk stuck in my foot. He just lifts it off me. He kind of just gives me the side eye. I'll give you that one. And then just goes back into the classroom.
Wow.
Wow.
And from that day, I discovered something very important. If you have a reason to, nobody will look past you, no matter how old you are. They will understand if you swear at the top of your lungs if you have a reason to.
If you just say it just to say it, then it's just like, no thanks.
And, like, I'm pretty sure, like, 10 years later,
yes,
I
at
now
time
have
I fell down the stairs.
the torrid, freaking, really bad potty mouth that I have. Oh, man. I can see where I went wrong.
I doubt that. Oh, goodness gracious. Stretch. Oh, big stretch. Oh, goodness.
How's your stretch?
Oh, it's good. It's great, dude. It's a big stretch.
Daisy, good
Wonderful.
stretch, dude.
Do I just have an unfinished drink up in my bed? Oh my god. Hang on. I have to solve this mystery. Hang on.
I haven't touched my drink at all, so now this reusable ice cube I have in it is just...
Oh my god, I have an
it just tastes like plastic.
I have an unopened
At
drink.
this
in
point,
my
it's
bed.
screaming for help.
I have an unopened drink in my bed, so I'm gonna open it on the podcast.
Oh.
Oh.
Saving grace.
Well, let me get a whiff of that.
Nothing beats the crisp opening of a can.
What? What is that?
Oh, that's nasty.
It smells sour. Are you okay?
You already did it, too.
Kyle.
It's kiwi
You're not gonna pass out, are
strawberry.
you?
No.
Kyle?
I think it does, I don't think it helps much that it's kind of not it's like not a cold drink. Like it's kind of warm.
Wait, Kyle, check the wrapper. Is it perishable? Does it need to be refrigerated?
Hold on.
Well, if the can was sealed, then
Drink.
It's a bottle.
it was in a can.
It's a bottle, stinkies.
Oh.
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 I'm not gonna say the name out loud because
The
Brands.
copyright.
refrigerate after opening.
We're a
As-
group of nobodies. They'll bring down our podcast around our heads.
Refrigerate after opening, as in life, chill for the best results. Alright. Wait, is that copyright? All rights reserved. That belongs to the company that made the stuff.
That's a really cool saying, though. I like that.
Oh yeah, no, for real.
As all things in life.
Please don't kill us.
Amen.
Please don't kill us.
Hey, I'm game. Speak for yourself.
No! Oh my
I'm a
god.
zoomer. I'm ready.
Oh man, excuse me.
My generation is full of people who will laugh at a picture of a monkey that's been brightened up and oversaturated. I'm ready to go.
Me and the boys up at 2
A
8.
deep fried monkey.
Me and the boys forming a pact to end our lives because of a freaking spaghetti monkey.
Here, wait, I'll do you one better. Me and the boys getting together to do a podcast.
Ouch.
No.
10 a.m.
Up at 10 a.m.
Darn it, why is that making me laugh so hard? Why did I say that?
Oh my gosh. Who knows? Oh,
The
that's nasty.
pain.
Oh, it's nasty.
I say deep fried monkey and my brain is like,
Stop drinking it!
It's gross, dude. I almost said a word. I should be careful.
I mean, you did, but stop drinking it then.
Is it that nasty that you almost start swearing?
Well, okay. So, okay, my dad actually recently bought me these little mints. I'm sure you can hear them. They're like they're little like strawberry fruit mints. So they have like the mint to them, but they're also like pretty. And I'm sitting here munching at these, and then I come across the soda. Well, the soda's not cold. It's warm.
It's like lukewarm.
But it hasn't been opened. It's strawberry kiwi. So I've got the taste
Oh
of...
yeah, that flavor sucks when it's hot.
So when I'm like, I take a sip and I'm just like, oh, that don't taste right. Alright.
Sip number 2, electric boogaloo. Maybe it'll taste better.
You ever get like a Coke from like a convenience store drink fountain, and you take one sip of it and it tastes like dish soap?
I mean, not all the time, but
Flat Pepsi tastes like dishwater.
Alright,
There's a story behind this.
Alright, folks. I hate to do this, but I think we're gonna have to start wrapping it up. We've got about 2 minutes left. So,
Should we promote our Twitter so the lovely folks can follow us for updates and shenanigans?
Yes. Okay, so you can find our podcast Twitter at Muse_nightly. You'll even find some information on there. You'll find all the different past videos that past podcasts that we put together that we have not done yet, but we will. Thank you to everyone who has sat down to watch this entire 2 hours and 30 minutes of absolute nonsense. You can follow me at Berry_Pizza. You can find Malachi at Insomnia Spectre. Angel here at Songbird underscore Angel. You can and then Milo at Bumblebee Blitz.
With 2 Z's.
2 Z's.
Yeah, Songbird_Angel. Also, keep an eye out on SoundCloud for a username of the same variety, who will shortly be releasing some singles, some new tracks, because I want to get started on writing some music. And if anyone here is interested in listening, I hope to see you there.
Yo, I didn't even
We'll
know.
even post some songs on the Twitter, so keep an eye out on there.
Oh yeah. I probably should have put my phone on silent, but you know what? It's fine. Alright. Yeah.
The albums will be available to listen to at some point in time. You keep an eye out for that.
Alright, and with that, thank you everybody for joining us. We hope to see you next time. Stay whatever. Good vibes. Good vibes. You know? Good vibes. Stay safe, have a good night, definitely have a good Christmas. And I hope 2021 is good to you, because I know 2020 has not been the most astounding thing in the world.
No.
Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, and every other holiday that you celebrate that I don't know how to say to bring good tidings for.
Kwanzaa.
Stay safe.
Click bam boom.
Keep your friends safe by following the quarantine rules.
Yay.
Have a good holiday.
That was bad. I'm gonna try that again.
Y'all are nerds.
Yeah. Let's try that again. We're gonna try doing an actual good outro. I'm gonna say the thing and then everybody else can jump me. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Cool. Click, bam, boom. Bye, bye, everybody. Bye.
Bye.
Happy holidays.
Bye!
See you around next full moon.
Alright, and we are offline.